Ice T, what's up?
What's up? Can you hear me?
I got you. How are you? What's
All
going
right.
on?
What's up, boss?
Thank you for coming on here. I'm sure you got a lot of shit going on right now, but I appreciate you showing up. I know you were a highly requested guest for this, so yeah,
How's it
man,
been going? How's it been going today?
it's good, man. We're raising a lot of money. Had a lot of good conversations. A lot of I'm learning, man. I'm here. I'm here to learn. Everyone's here to learn today. So
Okay, that's what's up.
yeah, we're getting educated. So I don't think too many people need me to introduce you, but in case you don't know who this is the reason you have a fucking parental advisory sticker on your record. Probably the pioneer of gangster rap, probably the pioneer of rap rock, turned actor, movie star, everything, man. Just the fucking dude. So I have so many questions for you, but I know you love just doing it. So we could just shoot it like we normally do. But I've got to say, out of all the celebrity people I've met, you have always been the most outspoken when it comes to social political issues, race issues in this country. I don't know anyone who goes in as hard as you. And I think a lot of people should take a lesson from that in that world and use their voice and their platform and not be silent. On a smaller scale, that's what I'm doing today. And I learned how to do this shit from people like you, man. So thank you.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I mean, me, Will, we've been working probably for about 6 years, since, the first, when you got with us on Manslaughter. It's been a while. So you've been around me. You've seen me operate. You've seen my friends. You've hung out. And, it's kind of like what I kind of based my musical career off of, because honestly, when it was time to start making music, to me, I kind of thought it was silly. I was just like, singing about yourself and all that and stuff. And then when I found out that you could actually connect it with a message, and I got that from Grandmaster Melly Mel, I'm like, well, this can mean something. So it's cool to me to have fun. And, when we make records, we make bullshit records. We make records that are just really outrageously stupid, but fun. But then every once in a while, we want to hit them with something that's real. And the trick in music is to do it without overdoing it. Nobody wants to be so-called preached to. So I have a little way I kind of sneak in my messages to people, because it's part of me. And it's not an act. This is just actually how I am in real life.
Yeah. I mean, the balance that we do where, we have our entertainment, songs are wild and funny and shit, but then we make it a point to hit one or two, going into making records. I know we always stay aware of that. And it's like, yeah, well, I mean, we got to this is happening. We got to talk about this, but like, we also have to have fun. And, I think finding that balance is what has opened the message up to a wider audience too. Cause like you said, people don't want to be preached at, but they just want to bang their head, have fun, get in a mosh pit, like there's all types of people in life. And if you want to get through to everyone, you got to kind of create a platform that can reach everyone, Right.
And social commentary has always been in rock. It has always been in punk. It has always been, in hip hop. It's a part of it. It's not, when you do it, it's not outrageous. People, if I'm listening to punk rock, they're singing about issues. They're singing about anger. They're singing about different things that are going on in the world. So like you say, the trick is to find the balance. And, I grew up, one of my favorite bands was Public Enemy. But then even Public Enemy had flavor, which was kind of like, a little comic relief, because you get so heavy that it can be overwhelming, at times. So people that follow Ice-T or know me, some of them still don't get it, that I can go from being totally outrageous and bullshitting to dead fucking serious. And I mean everything I'm saying. But I think the people that have been with me for over 20 years, they get it.
I agree. I mean, I think a lot of bands are getting, shit from their fans right now for taking stances on issues. And I'm like, this is hardcore metal and punk rock. Like, what the fuck did you think we were going to talk about when stuff like this happened? And it blows my mind. And it's like, you're someone who's been outspoken for years, and
my whole musical career.
Yeah, and from the beginning. I mean, you wrote Cop Killer is the unofficial protest song of police brutality in the punk world. I mean, I don't know if you realize how deep that song went into a lot of communities aside from the mainstream, but I mean, what that song did and how it changed people, and it kind of gave people a lane to be like, I can go this extreme, because at that time, man, shit like that didn't exist. It wasn't that extreme. You know?
Well, you know what it was? I thought it was that extreme because I was listening to Black Flag. I was, Police Story. I was listening, Millions of Dead Cops. There was a group named Millions of Dead Cops. Yeah. So I thought, going after the cops, going after the system was part of it. I thought it was okay, but I'd touched this high voltage fence that said, whoa, you can't go that far. So, people always ask me, are you going to remake Cop Killer? I'm like, why? I mean, the record stands. We still perform it. And, for people that still can't understand the song right now in the climate we are, where people are angry with the police, what if somebody snapped and went after them? That's what the Cop Killer song was about. It was a fantasy song, but it's a song about what if. Now, thank God nobody has done that. But it's a way of me being cautious, telling you this is a cautionary tale. Like, if you keep fucking over people, something's going to happen. Now, when a riot breaks out, people are getting their businesses or material things are getting destroyed. But at least the people aren't going after each other. No one's getting injured. Like, it's not like that. It's not a war. And don't let anybody tell you that this is a race war. This is as far from a race war as you're going to get. It's not about that. Now, there's people out there that would love to push that agenda, but when you see the basic makeup of the protesters, the racial makeup, the class makeup, the sexual makeup, it's too diverse. It's too many people that are just fed up with it. So I take my hat off to you, Will, for having this moment. And another thing, I don't want to ramble, but when people tell artists that they shouldn't have a view, that's kind of like what art is. A painter is painting a picture, and it usually has a story, and it has something to do with life. And when we go to the museums, we don't look at those artists and say they shouldn't have tried to tell a story.
There's no other way to create art than by reacting to the things you're affected by. I mean, that's what creates the best art. It has forever, and it's something that, I mean, me and you know it, but I think people are realizing that now too, like using your platforms and speaking through your music is at your core who you are. It's what you want to do. It's how you want to express yourself, And I think a lot of like your storytelling through the years and coming up with these creative fantasy style things and horror style things, and what if it was like this?
Exactly. What if? And I forgot what I was gonna say, Will, but the theory that an actor or this, that, people are very, just like the lady that told LeBron James, just shut up and dribble. Like, as a Black person, I can entertain you, but I'm not just here to fucking entertain you. I'm here to express how I feel. So when someone says that, yeah, this say some bullshit. Like, I'm not your fucking dancing fucking bear that you just feed. And I'm gonna speak my voice. But a lot of artists, I don't think you should have to. If it's not part of you, then you shouldn't do it. Like, I think now you got a lot of people trying to get into this social shit and talk. They don't have any clue what they're talking about. They have no experience. They haven't been through anything, and they're doing it to be pop. It's like a popular thing. Don't do it. Stay away. If it's not in your heart, because when you protest, we talked about this before, Will, when you protest, you're going to take a hit. It comes with it. That's what protesting is. When you stand up, somebody's going to say, fuck you. If you can't take the hit, stay the fuck out of the way. You know what I'm saying? Stay the fuck out of the way. I'm on television. I'm playing the cops. I'm doing my shit. But I'm, as a person, that's an act. I'm acting like that. That's being an actor. That's an artist. But as a person, I'm always going to say how the fuck I feel.
Yeah, and I appreciate you for that, man. You know, one thing I wanted to ask you, because it's something I noticed as I started thinking about what we could talk about and stuff, is as your career kind of went on, some of your songs did take a more serious turn, where I noticed like maybe some of the fantasy stuff kind of went away and some of that horror theme shit did go away. And like on the recent records, like, you know, records like Black Hoodie, No Lives Matter and shit, like you are more direct without some of the entertainment. You're actually being more blunt and vocal than I feel like you had been in the past, because in the past it was masked with fantasy stuff, and now you're just saying shit straight, you know? And was there a point, like, did something turn with you where you were like, I have to say this as clear as I fucking can now, you know?
Honestly, I'm gonna be absolutely honest. It's just phases of an artist. It's just phases, you know. If you go to fine art, you know, Rembrandt will have this stage, then he goes into this stage, and then he goes into this stage. I think it's growing up. I think you become more mature. You become a little more focused. I got an album where pretty much all I'm doing is singing about women. I probably was going through shit with my woman at the time. You know what I'm saying? It's like whatever's happening around you is going to reflect what the music. Think about it. Like when we did Bloodlust, we didn't know that Trump was going to become president.
Right.
And we made an intentional never to say anybody's name and never to say a name, because I didn't want to write a record where I'm talking about something that didn't happen. I think things have just got more critical in the last 4 years. Shit has just gotten a little bit more intense. And it's really hard to sit with any of your friends and have a non-political conversation nowadays. Like the news took reality TV out of the shot. People don't even want to see reality TV. The news is so outrageous nowadays. It's just almost all you can talk about. So that being said, it's more in my brain, Will. So then I'm gonna write more about it. I think during the Obama days, everybody was just so chill and relaxed and shit. It was like hard to talk about issues because people were like, come on, Ice, everything's okay. You know, and I'm like, yeah, it is. But now it's like, it's everyone's raging against the machine again. So pun intended.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, man, I always appreciate your perspective on this shit because you're one of the realest motherfuckers in the world. I got a couple fun ones for you. Let's lighten it up. All right. I'm going to hit you speed round questions. All right.
Now, wait a minute. Can I plug this? How do they send in and how do they donate?
Soundrink.live. I'll hit you on the email with some shit. Feel free to post it. We're taking donations for the next few days.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. This is a good thing you're doing, man.
Thank
Black
you, man.
people haven't got to see Will Putney. You always hear me talk about Will. I always call him the Dr. Dre of metal. And that's a super compliment because I think Dr. Dre is probably one of the most prolific producers since Quincy Jones. But this guy right here, if you think you got a rock band, you probably have never heard it yet till he produces it. When he produces it, you're gonna be like, oh shit, we sound that good?
You're making me blush, man. You're the fucking best. I love it.
No, he's
all
the
right.
man.
Listen to this speed round, dude. You can keep one of each thing. All right.
Oh,
Desert Island shit. One car. What do you got?
Range Rover.
Okay. One hip hop record.
Paid in Full. Eric B. and Rakim.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's your one. Okay. Yep. All right. One gun.
The FN 77.
Okay. And one heavy metal record.
No, it's the FM 57, huh? One heavy metal record would be the first Black Sabbath album.
I knew you were gonna say that one. That's your jam. We should probably do a Black Sabbath cover one of these days.
Yeah. I mean, I used to use Black Sabbath a lot in my hip hop, and the reason I always say that album is it's really one of the first metal records or rock records I ever bought. I went to the store and I bought that, and I would play it when I worked out back in the days, and I would just play it and would just play over and over and over again. So, you know, that that got me into the genre. And a lot of people give Sabbath the inventors of metal, you know. So that makes me feel like I was there at the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, you heard the Sabbath influence in Body Count. I think that was like a lot of what got people in. I mean, I know Ernie was a big Sabbath guy too. He had even worked with them, and you hear that from those early records for sure. So,
well, Black Body Count, like we said on the record, when we did the Slayer cover, Body Count is our influences were Suicidal Tendencies, who was the first band to really come out wearing the khakis and, you know, the bandanas, repping that West Coast kind of Venice shoreline gangster thing. Slayer, just because they were the fastest and they the most brutal. And I got hip to Slayer because Rick Rubin turned me on to him early because he was a hip hop producer. And then Sabbath. And then Motorhead too, because when you listen to Cop Killer, you're really hearing Motorhead, you know? So I have no problem saying, well, this band influenced this song or this band influenced that song. I think that's fly to be able to pay homage to people that motivated you in a direction.
Of course. Why people sample in hip hop, it's the same thing. I mean, you got to pay tribute to the heroes, you know? So
yeah,
very cool, man. Well, dude, this was awesome. Thank you for coming on here. Always appreciate our conversations, man.
Yeah. Can I just say one last thing?
Hit me.
Now that everyone's out protesting and all that, you know, don't let it end there. You know, whether you went out or you protested or not, that's really irrelevant. It's how you deal with shit on a daily basis. Like when you left the protest, now you go home and you deal with somebody that's saying something that might be considered racist or might be considered some bullshit. Address it. Tell your boy, man, that ain't cool, man. Check him. Have the courage to step up to this stuff all the time. It's like if I took Will with me in the hood and somebody wanted to say something out the way, I'm gonna check them like, yo, this is my motherfucking man. Like, what the fuck are you? You know, have the courage to stand up to this in your day-to-day life. And in these last couple weeks, I'm sure everybody has looked to the left at one of their friends and been like, wow, you really feel like that?
Yeah, I mean, everyone's having these conversations now, man. And I think, you know, we talked about negative optimism before with these dudes in Bad Rabbits, who I'm going to send you a record later. And they said, you know, it's like, you know, even though shit's bad, at least shit's in your face now and shit's starting to change. So negative optimism. I like that. Maybe write one.
I like that. I like that negative optimism. Yeah, so that's what it is, man. But thanks, Will. And, you know, you put this together, man. So you deserve a big hats off. And it's an honor to be part of this, man. You know, I don't hate nobody. I have no problem with anybody's sex, anybody's race, anybody's religion. I just hate dumb fucks.
I appreciate you, man. Always telling it like it is.
All right.
Ice-T, thank you, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Peace.
Peace, homie. All right. So that was Ice-T, man, the legend. We're giving away 10 copies of the new Body Count record, courtesy of Body Count and Century Media. A $10 donation at soundring.live enters you into our charity raffle. And we're going to pick winners. Write down what you want. And if it's available, we're going to give it to you. And I'm going to fucking bother you with it all day. So do it. All right. 2-minute break. And then I'm coming back with Martine and Scott from Terror. Stay tuned.